Tyrell Jenkins is in the center of the diamond. He's making his warm-up tosses as the Braves try to take 2 out of 3 from the battling Buccos. And fellas, Tyrell's, as Joe said, settling in very nicely in rotation.
9th big league appearance, 5th start of the year. See, as a starter this year, 1-1 with a 4.5 ERA. So he's pitched pretty well out of the rotation. Like you said, coming off a big win, his first win last time out. So expect big things tonight.
And his 4 keys to pitching success tonight. You saw some glimpses of that good sinker against Philadelphia. Hopefully he's got that sinking feeling again tonight against the Pirates. But he needs to work on fewer 3-ball counts. His last 3 starts, 13 walks in 15 innings. So he's got to cut down on that and limit the base runners.
So if Tyrell gets those ground ball outs, his infield defense has to be on their collective toes. Garcia, Ibar, Peterson, and Freeman ring the infield. A.J. Przinsky's behind the plate. Matt Kemp had a night of firsts of his own last night. First hit, first run, and first Braves win, with Enciarte and Nick Markakis joining him in the pastures. The Pittsburgh Pirates let one slip through their fingers last night. They led 4-0 after their first turn in the batter's box, but could not hold the lead as the Braves stormed back with a ton of offense from the second inning forward. Clint Hurdle had to be disappointed with Jeff Locke's performance, but still the series tied at a game apiece. And the first pitch of the night is lined by Frazier to center, and we're underway. 1 pitch, 1 out. After the rain showers, it cooled noticeably here in Atlanta. Temperatures in the mid to upper 90s all day long. It's cooled to 77 degrees as we play over an hour later than we were scheduled to do so. Here's Freese, the Pirates' first baseman. And David takes a little low. 1 ball, no strikes. Fellas love the fact that Tyrell Jenkins has been working out of this modified windup or stretch position, whichever way you want to call it. It's been very effective for him.
Yeah, a little bit different, obviously, in his setup, but I think the rest of it is still pretty much like he was going out of the windup anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Blowing outside, 3 balls and a strike. Neither pitcher threw a pitch before the rain, so that's not going to affect them. But will the timing affect Jenkins or Vogelsong, Tommy?
A little bit of an adjustment.
Line to right and right at Nick. He hardly had to move. 2 out. And you're all geared up to throw the first pitch at 7:05, 7:10. Now you throw it at 8:25.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of an adjustment in your routine, a little bit of an adjustment in your emotions because you're geared and you're ready to go, and then you're put in shutdown mode, so to speak. But dealing with a hour-plus delay is not so bad. When you start dealing with 2 and 3 hours, then it's not fun.
This is Matt Joyce.
Because if you're anything like broadcasters during rain delays, you just eat.
Exactly. But when you're starting, you can't. So.
And not just broadcasters, stat guys too.
My oh my.
As Matt Joyce digs in. Matt had a happy birthday yesterday. On the personal side of things, turned 32 and hit a 3-run homer. That was part of that 4-run uprising for the Pirates. And isn't the game funny? Rob Whalen, making his first major league start, was maybe 1 hitter away from being taken out of the game. He struck out Jeff Locke for his first big league strikeout to end the first inning, and then pitched 4 brilliant innings to give the Braves offense a chance to come back and win, and that's exactly what happened.
He hung in there and he battled and was rewarded for it.
Down low to Joyce. It's even now. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
A couple of hard hit balls, but he's keeping the ball down so far.
Another fly ball, this one to deep center. Enciarte back at the wall, leaps up, and he got it. Brilliant catch by Ender Inciarte up against the center field fence, and the Pirates are out in order in the top of the first. First inning against a real baseball survivor. Right-hander Ryan Vogelsong is on the mound for the Pirates, and almost miraculously so after the events that took place in his last start May 24th.
Yeah, a long time since he's been back out there, but you've seen 5 career starts versus the Braves. 2-2 with a 4.71 ERA, and like you said, Chip, it's not necessarily tonight, but can't help but root for this kid. He's been through a lot.
He'll face Jace Peterson, and the first pitch to the Braves second baseman is off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes.
Fastball 88 to 91 with a lot of cutters. He's got a good curveball and a changeup.
And he's peering in at his catcher to make sure he sees the signs. And that's a little low. Ball 2. The injury took place on May the 24th. He was hit with a pitched ball, not a batted ball, back to him on the mound. And Ryan Vogelsong suffered 7 facial fractures. And the real shame of that for Vogelsong was he was just put back in rotation for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he was really expected to be a big help for them. Still very much could be. But they had to wait 10 days for the effect of that injury to subside before they could get the surgery done. June 2nd, the surgery took place. The swelling was so severe the doctors had to pry his left eye open to shine light in just to see if he could recognize light. Vogelsong could. And after 4 rehab starts, he's back in the show with the Pirates.
I would guess that first at bat, like it is for so many guys who have been hit in the head or the face, that first one back is mighty tough at bat.
Three balls, 2 strikes for Jace Peterson.
You can't see the signs, as is the case many times for visiting teams here, with a hard time seeing the catcher's signs with no lights in the outfield. So we might try something different.
A roller foul at first. Looks like Friar's got some white polish on his fingernails to try to help out his pitcher. And And this one's rolled towards short. Mercer's got it. Flips it quickly to first. And Jace Peterson is retired at the top of the Braves batting order. Eric Ibar is swinging a hot bat. He'll be followed by Freddie Freeman third. Matt Kemp had his first Braves hit here last night. Markakis, Garcia, Ender Inciarte with a 14-game hitting streak. Pierzynski and Jenkins 8th and 9th.
A lot of guys in the lineup really pushing their average up lately.
And there's a ball to Eric Ibar, who's hitting .483 during his 9-game hit streak. That's 14 hits in those 9 games. And slashed down the left field line, foul. Now 2-1. Eric has 5 hits this year against the Pirates. He's knocked in a run in 17 at bats this season. And now the count to him is full with 1 out.
Well, another thing about Vogelsong, 39 years old. He was an all-star in 2011. And he's never lost in the postseason. All of this after he came back from Japan. World Series in 12 and 14 with the Giants. 3 games, 2 starts, 1-0 with a 3.8 ERA. 2-0 in the LCS.
Mercer again shifts to his left.
And a 1.69 ERA in division play. But the Braves have got some guys in the lineup tonight, fellas, that have had some good luck against him, including Freddie Freeman, who was 7 for 17 with 2 home runs against him. But he's not the only guy. Our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot. Tonight's lineup against Vogelsong, a .301 average, 4 long ones.
So with 2 outs, Freeman's up. The Pirates shift, and he unloads to center. Twisting and turning is Marte, and to the warning track he goes. And both center fielders make fine catches to end their halves of the first inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Braves. No score after 1.
At a humid night at Turner Field, and we have some update on you for the starting rotation. Saturday starters still up in the air. No word on who that's going to be. And one of the most likely candidates, Aaron Blair, who we've seen up here a lot this season, was placed on the DL in AAA tonight. So look at the current status of Braves pitchers. You have 5 guys there on the DL. Aaron Blair, Julio Teheran, Perez, Casey Kelly, John Gant. 3 of the starting pitches were traded, and Matt Whistler, of course, had been up here all season, was just sent down to AAA to work on some things, but still no word on Saturday night's starter.
Tommy, are you available?
I think I'm busy Saturday night.
But it's amazing, Kelsey. Thank you for that report. As this ball's beaten foul by Starling Marte, how radically the Braves rotation has been changed and beaten up here in the last couple of weeks. In fact, we're in a stretch where the last 4 starts, including tonight's by Tyrell Jenkins, are being made by Braves pitchers who weren't on the opening day roster. Not to mention the guys on that list that are either traded in the minor leagues or on the disabled list with the minor league clubs or here at the big league level. So that's a problem. Braves don't know who's going to start on Saturday against St. Louis.
Yeah, it's a different game today in that regard. Days of rolling 5 guys all year long, or maybe 6 guys all year long. I mean, that's just doesn't happen much anymore. And certainly has been an issue for the Braves the last couple years.
Broken bat grounder toward short. Ibar charges. Marte jogging down the line is retired for the first out. 4 up, 4 down for Jenkins.
Do we know what happened to Aaron Blair? Is it arm related?
I heard it was a knee.
Knee? Well, I hope it's nothing serious, and that couldn't be worse timing for Aaron because he was pitching well and might have been the odds-on candidate to pitch Saturday.
So as of now, including Rob Whalen, Braves have used 13 different starters this year. And those 13 starters have combined for 22 individual wins. The record for the Braves, I believe, is 15 different starters.
Well, we had that graphic last night or the night before about the Braves starting pitching and how it struggled most of the year, even taking consideration the lack of run support. But you also have to take in consideration age and inexperience. But the Braves, bottom line is, their biggest winners are Foltynewicz and Teheran with 4 wins. No team has fewer than 6 wins outside of the Braves.
Tonight, Tyrell Jenkins tries to earn win number 2. And that's low to Jung Ho Gong, the Pittsburgh third baseman.
Good pitch, though. Liking that sinker.
That one missed across the shoe tops, and Gong's aboard. That's the first Pittsburgh base runner. So one of Joe's keys, avoid those 3 and 4 ball counts. Tyrell has his first base on balls. Gong's aboard for Josh Harrison. Our first look at him in this series.
Now, overall for Tyrell, that's 21 walks against 15 strikeouts in 30 innings. He knows it. He's trying to cut down on him.
Josh Harrison's numbers include 3 homers, 42 knocked in. He's also stolen 14 bags. He was involved in a nasty collision at first base up in Milwaukee on Sunday. Pirates playing shorthanded. We will not see Andrew McCutchen. He's been given this entire series off by his skipper Clint Hurdle. McCutchen having a rough year at the plate.
Tell you what, no McCutchen, no Polanco tonight. I think if I was Tyrell, I'd be happy to see that.
I was going to say the pitchers aren't complaining. They hope McCutchen figures it out tomorrow.
1 ball, 1 strike. And a swing and a miss. Harrison was acquired from the Cubs in a deadline deal in 2009. John Grabo and Tom Gorzolani went to the Cubs. And Harrison turned into a 2014 All-Star for Pittsburgh. He hit .315. That's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And like Jordy Mercer, he's had some good luck against the Braves recently too. 7 of his last 8 starts against Atlanta, 300 average. Brings a lot of energy to their lineup.
Last year was the Pirates' opening day starter at third base. Signed a 4-year contract extension on April the 8th. And the 2-2 is bounced through the whole left side. And that's the first Pirate hit. So Josh Harrison, sore leg and all, puts Pirate runners at first and second here in the second. And Jordy Mercer will be the Pittsburgh hitter. Mercer has been a Braves killer at the plate. Knock on wood, that has not been the case in this series. He is 0 for 7. But he can play some shortstop for you, can't he?
He's been good there.
Solid player.
One ball, no strikes. To the pride of Edmond, Oklahoma, Jordy Mercer.
Get a few more strike ones in there, Tyrell. Start the count in your favor if you can.
Line to short on 1 hop Ibar. Fields and flips, and the throw to first in time.
What a play.
That was a 1 hop rocket. A double play off the bat of Jordy Mercer. Bails out Tyrell Jenkins. And Pittsburgh leaves its first runner on base. Matt Kemp's coming up for the Braves. No score.
And my wife were in the ambulance with me, and I can remember just saying to them, like, I can't believe this is how it's going to end. You know, I've been through all this stuff, injuries, Japan, winter ball, making a comeback, and this is how it's going to end. I get hit in the face, and you know, I was saying that, but deep down inside, I was trying to talk myself into this isn't it. But at that point in time, I really didn't know.
And it isn't it for Ryan Vogelsong, a man who's pitched 19 professional seasons for 15 different teams on 3 different continents. A man that had to undergo Tommy John surgery after his second major league start. Went 5 years between big league appearances because of that stint that Ryan mentioned in Japan. Came back and became an all-star. Then in 2012 and 14, a 2-time world champion with the San Francisco Giants, and now survives the facial fractures and is pitching for the Pirates again. What a survivor.
Yeah, and it's certainly understandable to hear his sentiments that after all that and everything he's been through, that okay, I'm going to get hit in the face with a pitch. Really, that's how this is going to go down. But thankfully that wasn't the case.
1 ball, 1 strike. As Matt Kemp got underneath and pops it into shallow right. And that'll be playable for Frazier. And there's out number 1. Here's the long winding road for Ryan Vogelsong as a professional player. 39 years young is how he would describe it, I'm sure, Tommy.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And again, good numbers with the Giants after he came back. Out of Glen, Pennsylvania, which is near Lancaster, PA, and out of Kutztown State. 5th round pick in '98.
Kutztown State is not a big college, is it?
No, it's not, but he was a 5th round pick. How'd that happen?
Well, I guess if you're good, they'll find you, right?
That's what I hear.
That's what I hear, yeah.
As Nick Markakis is the batter. Nick at 268, 6 homers, 55 runs batted in. The ball's been jumping on off of his bat the last couple of weeks. And Ted Barrett says that one's good enough. A strike. Nick had 3 homers and 53 RBIs in 156 games last season, so he's already gone by those numbers. He's got 27 2-base hits this year. He had 38 last year. Strike 3, pretty pitch. First strikeout for Vogelsong. And 2 are quickly out in the Braves' second.
That was his curveball, and Nick knew it. No, I beg your pardon. Straight change. Beauty.
Yeah, bottom of the zone. Good pitch.
Adonis Garcia is 3 for 9 in the series. And he's one of the Braves who's homered against Vogelsong. In fact, Adonis has 8 homers overall this year and 34 driven in. Jammed him. And Gong at third, got a tricky hop and made a nice play. And it's 6 up, 6 down for Vogelsong. And the true test comes in the 3rd inning. The Pirates pitchers due up second. Beer night on Friday, August 19th, when the Braves take on the Nationals. You'll enjoy a selection of craft beer from local Atlanta breweries. Visit braves.com/brews for all the details about this ticket package. As my grandfather used to say, how do they make them so cheap but taste so good?
It's always been one of the wonders of nature.
Right. Eric Fryer, Ryan Vogelsong will get things started for the Buccos here in the third inning. Fryer 0 for 5 in the set, and Jenkins gets ahead. Strike one.
There you go. Strike one.
Still no Francisco Cervelli for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was hit by a Mike Foltynewicz pitch in the helmet. It was a changeup at 85, 86 miles an hour. Cervelli tried to stay in the game, but that pitch still cracked the helmet at the left ear flap.
Seems to be feeling pretty good tonight.
He's had foot problems. He's had wrist problems. And now the beaning, but hopefully he'll be good to go after the Pirates leave town. Full count for Fryer. And Jenkins lost him. A leadoff walk. Here is the injury to Ryan Vogelsong. It is not pretty.
Don't know that got any helmet.
Jordan Lyles of the Colorado Rockies was the man that made the pitch. And if Vogelsong's bunting, here's the red badge of courage opportunity. I would imagine this would be the most difficult part.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all going to be difficult for a while, obviously, but you know, probably a little bit more so when you've got a guy out there that's throwing 95, 96 and a little erratic, but it'll take some time.
He got the bunt down, and his nose was right on top of the bat, wasn't it?
Yep.
Excellent work for Ryan Vogelsong, and his first base coach Nick Leyva with a round of applause. And you know, Vogelsong's teammates will greet him at the top step of the dugout. Job well done. The sacrifice is good. Runner at second for the top of the order.
Looks like that wing that comes out there is a little higher than most we see for regular hitters. And there is that greeting. Let's face it, he doesn't need, if his vision's a little impaired by the bulk of that helmet, so be it. They're not counting on his offense. But if it gives him a measure of safety, that's a great thing.
So Vogelsong passes the first hitting test with flying colors. Now the top of the order, and Adam Frazier. He lined out to center his first time. Frazier's the kid from Athens, GA, at Oconee County High School. Had a couple of hits in game one, was held hitless last night. Fryer, the catcher, is the runner at second. And that's poked foul. He'll stay alive as we hit the 9 o'clock hour. We had an hour and 20 minute rain delay before first pitch tonight. So that's why we're so early in the game and so late at night. Thanks for staying with us tonight here on Fox. Tyrell Jenkins looking for his second win, and the 0-2 is looped over second base. That's going to get down for a base hit. Fryer around third is going to score without a play. And Frazier knocks home his 7th run, and the Buccos cash in the leadoff walk. It's 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Snapped an 0 for 7 for Frazier and was on an 0-2 count. Change up. AJ wanted it in the dirt.
Yeah, not a bad pitch. Certainly would have liked to see it a little bit lower, but good at bat by Frazier.
Close play at first. David Freese lined out to right his first time up. He's got 10 homers. He's knocked in 42. A.J. Pierzynski spotted something. He's out for a chat with Jenkins, who falls behind a dangerous hitter. 2 balls, no strikes. David Freese can play both corner infield spots. He was a terrific third baseman with the Cardinals and the Angels. He started 50 games at third for the Buccos this year, 21 games at first base, and before this season he'd only played 1 game at first base in the big leagues. He's done a nice job for them.
Between he and Jaso, welcome to first base. I know you haven't played it over here, but both of you grab a first baseman's glove.
And it is a different Pirate team. No Pedro Alvarez, who was a very high draft pick, but all kinds of defensive problems plagued Pedro in a Pirate uniform.
They have so many versatile guys, though. It seems they could throw a. I mean, they could throw a different lineup at you every night.
Downstairs, 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, Frazier's already been at second base, left field, and right field in 3 games.
Harrison can play the outfield. He could play second and third. You mentioned Jaso. You mentioned Freese. Gong can play shortstop, second base, or third. Probably first 2. A lot of options for Clint Hurdle. The pitch. Bouncing ball to second. Should be 2. There's 1. There's 2. Double play. Leadoff walk is cashed in by the Pirates, but that's all they get. Freese wraps into a double play, and the bottom part of the Braves order is coming up. Down a run. Comeback win of the season, coming back from a 4-0 deficit. 1 run shouldn't be a problem tonight. Not with hot hitting Ender Inciarte leading off on our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard.
Closing in on those guys at the top for the longest in the National League. And he's got 20 hits over that 14-game stretch.
And he's batting .260 for the year. 10 hits this year against the Pirates in 22 at-bats. He'll be followed by AJ and then Tyrell Jenkins. Deep short. Mercer long throw. High throw. Safe. Infield hit. The streak goes on.
Took care of that quickly. Got it out of the way.
When Mercer let that go, I thought it was going to fly into the stands. He measured it perfectly, though. Good hustle by Ender. Smelled that hit.
Yeah, who finally gets a bang bang play to go his way at first base. Now AJ's coming up. He's at .219 with 22 RBIs. Big hole right side for him. And he sprays it the other way for a strike. Nothing in 2 for the Braves catcher. Runner goes. Swing, base hit right field. Beautiful work. First and third, nobody out.
This was a straight steal. Good jump by Ender Inciarte, but he had no idea where this ball was hit. So in that case, when you don't know if it's a line drive, you're going to be out anyway. So just keep running. Nice job by AJ. His third hit in the series. He's 3 for 5.
So Vogelsong's laid down a butt. Let's see if Tyrell Jenkins can do the same. He's got 2 sacrifices this year. And he wants to make sure he saw what Bo Porter gave him.
Well, here's that situation where with a fast runner at third base, even though you're probably going to be sacrificing, you put down a good bunt and Ender gets a good read on it, he can score.
You know, in this situation, I'd kind of like to see him bunt it to third.
Yeah, if he bunts it to third, then Ender can walk home.
Ender can come down as far as it takes the third baseman to field it.
Nice bunt. The throw to first handled by Harrison. Fryer pounced on it, got the out. It's sacrifice. AJ's at second. Second and third, one away, and the top of the order's up.
Good bunt nonetheless. But the point being, if you bunt it to third, the third baseman has to charge it. Then the runner at third can come as far as the third baseman and wait for him to make a decision if he's going to throw it or not. Good job. His third sacrifice already.
Jace Peterson grounded out to short his first time. The Pirates infield is back. They'll concede a run on a ball hit up the middle, it appears. And that's off the plate. Jace is riding a 4-game hit streak, 6 hits in his last 12 at bats. Very impressive work since coming back from Gwinnett on June the 10th. Over a 46-game period, Peterson's hitting .304 and has scored 23 runs in those 46 games.
Get a good pitch to hit here. It's a hitter's count, but that doesn't mean that Vogelsong's going to give you something down the middle. Look for it in a zone.
Three and 0. Eric Ibar's on deck. Freddie Freeman lurking in the Braves dugout. And Hurdle leads 1-0. That's in jeopardy here. 3-0 pitch. And 4 straight miss. And they're loaded for Ibar. First free pass issued by Ryan Vogelsong. And another note on Jace Peterson. That's 24 walks since his return from the minor leagues. 8th most walks in the National League since June 10th. So he's done a nice job leading off, getting on base. Bases loaded for Ibar, who bounced out to short his first time up.
Vogelsong's read the scouting report on Eric Ibar with men in scoring position. He loves to get after that first pitch and dropped a big off-speed pitch on him.
His misses have been close, about as close as you can get them.
1 ball, 1 strike.
It's kind of interesting. I think that's the logo. Eric's bat, I believe, is a Marucci bat. Ryan Vogelsong is co-owner of the Marucci Bat Company.
Two and 1 now. Little tapper. Vogelsong tried the glove flip and came up empty. The Braves tie the game on a little dribbler right in front of the plate. Inciarte scores. The bases are still loaded.
I think it's the only play he had, Tom.
Yeah, I agree.
That's that do or die play. Almost, very similar when there's a squeeze. You can't, as a right-hander, it's tough to get around the ball right there to get your bare hand to it. So try and get your glove to it and flip it, and it just didn't take the bounce he was anticipating.
So an infield hit for Ibar gives him a 10-game hitting streak. He also picks up his 20th RBI. And now the bases are loaded for Freddie Freeman, and the Braves have a great chance for a big inning. When he's in trouble, he's not throwing fastballs, is he?
No. Well, especially in these situations, hitters generally more aggressive with runners in scoring position, geared up for a fastball. So it's a good pitch, first pitch to Ibar, and curveball, good pitch there to Freddie.
Who bats with the bases loaded for just the 2nd time this year.
Is that right? We're in August.
Yep. He's 0 for 1.
Wow.
One ball, 1 strike. Lifted out of play and into the club level to our left. Braves have the right guys at the right time. Freeman and Kemp. Freddie's hitting .364 in his last 11 games. Pierzynski, Peterson, and Ibar the runners in a tie game, home third. Into the seats again, hanging tough.
Well, he's fed him nothing but off-speed stuff. Freddie's gliding out there on his front foot a little bit, taking his hands with him. He might be primed for one of those pitches upstairs that they've tried in this series that have been effective. He's struck out 5 times in 9 at-bats.
They did try, but it missed so badly. No chance for Vogelsong to get a swing. 2-2.
Well, if you're going to miss with that pitch, that's the side, the height you miss, not below.
Full count. Three singles and a walk in the inning.
Try to stay back and drive this ball to left center. You get something inside and can turn on it, that's fine. React to it, but think about left center.
Here comes the payoff. Struck him out.
Cutter and a beauty. Watch this move a little bit like a slider. But bite in on him.
That is a big pitch.
Big pitch, gutsy pitch.
If Freddie doesn't swing, that's probably ball 4.
Might be.
But he got the out. Now Kemp's the hitter. Bases loaded, 2 outs.
But that's the point of it. It looks good coming out of the hand.
Looks like a strike for a while.
First pitch swing, driven center field deep. That ball is caught on the warning track by Marte. What a grab. Starling Marte flew out of nowhere and reached up at the last moment to rob Kemp of an extra base hit and a Braves lead. What a catch. We're tied 1-1.
As we head to the 4th inning, and Tyrell Jenkins on the mound making his 5th start in the show. When we asked him what's the biggest difference you felt since you made your debut, he said being more aggressive and attacking the hitters. We also asked him, what are you really working on now? He said he's still working on trying to limit those walks, but especially eliminating that big inning so he can go deeper into the game. He told us, and I think all of you guys in the booth can agree with this, the less he thinks, the better he pitches, and he says as he gets more comfortable, he's doing a better job with that.
Thank you, Kelsey. There's the run for Tyrell Jenkins, first, second, and third times through the order. He surrendered a 3rd inning run on a leadoff walk and a hit by Frazier. And now Joyce, Marte, and Gong are coming up. 1-1 is the score.
You've been saying that same thing about Matt Wisler. Good stuff. Just don't let your brain get in the way of it.
Yeah, sometimes you can overthink, overanalyze, and usually when you're doing all that on the mound or in the box, it's not good.
Joyce lines one down the left field line. That's headed for the Pirates bullpen.
And this guy squares up everything, doesn't he? Yeah, that lodged right in the chain link screen.
To left. And Kemp's there to take care of Joyce. One man down. Well, if you didn't know about Starling Marte, you've missed out on a terrific defensive series by the Pirates outfielder. He's made a couple of great catches tonight. And he's having a big year. A .321 average, 37 RBIs, 37 steals, 25 doubles.
Good catches are good catches whenever they come. But like when Andruw Jones was running around out there, when you make a great catch with the bases loaded and 2 outs, it's gigantic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's easily a 3-run swing right there.
Ripped toward left again. Kemp on the run. He's going to have to play that one off the wall. And Starling Marte glides into second with his 26th double. Joe, you said it when we were in Pittsburgh. When the Pirates have Polanco and McCutchen and Marte, you love this outfield trio.
I think it's arguably the best outfield in baseball. McCutchen's not having an Andrew McCutchen type year, but this guy's having a Marte type year, as we're coming to learn. I think he's one of the best players in the National League. He just gets overshadowed. He can hit. He can hit with some power. He doesn't have a ton of home runs, but he can play great defense, as we've seen, and he can steal bases.
So he's in scoring position for Jung Ho Gong, the Pittsburgh third baseman who walked and was stranded back in the second.
Tommy, we had a discussion the other night at dinner off air about you guys having a conversation at the Hall of Fame about situations come up during a game where you've got to figure out how to get out of a jam. This is an ideal one here for him, with the team having just tied the game up for him.
No, absolutely. You know, your team tied it up. You always want that shutdown inning. You know, you're going to have a couple innings throughout the course of the game, typically, no matter how good you pitch. You know, there'll be a few nights where you don't have much stress, but most nights you're going to have an inning or 2 or 3 where I got to make a pitch, I got to get out of an inning, I got to figure my way out of a jam. This is, you know, certainly one of those situations, particularly like we say on the heels of your team putting up a run and and tying the game for you.
Gong bailed him out, swung at a bad ball, and Jenkins has his first strikeout of the game. Big second out.
Like a fastball.
Yeah.
Gong just made up his mind he was going to get a fastball and swing at it.
Here's Harrison. He singled in his return to the lineup back in the second inning. A double play took care of him and the Pirates. Pirates have their alternate uniform tops tonight. Black jerseys with the gold letters and piping. Gray pants. Look at those old-fashioned socks that Harrison's sporting. The old-time 3 golden rings.
I like those.
Me too. See Andrew McCutchen sporting those occasionally.
Three balls and a strike. Big league pitch in a hitter's count.
Yep. You could throw that for strikes, that off-speed pitch behind in the count. You're on your way.
Well, you got a base open and another right-handed hitter coming up behind him. You could do it again if you want.
And Harrison out in front. We'll do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nice catch in the upper deck.
Spoiled a pretty good pitch there. You'd think you could get him inside here, but 3-2 count. Certainly don't want to miss over the plate.
That's hammered left side into the seats.
Well, he stands way off the plate and dives in. He got a change up there that was up that he could get to, even though he was fooled.
Another foul ball. And outside, Harrison earns a walk. This one comes with 2 outs, and that's the 3rd walk for Tyrell Jenkins. He walked 4 last time out.
That was a quick visit from AJ. Looked like mostly a pat on the back.
Yeah, or just remind him, hey, you know, we're 2 outs here. Let's make some pitches, get out of the inning. No harm walking the guy.
Mercer's hit into one of 2 double plays for the Pirate batsman tonight. Good pitch. Do it again.
Yeah.
Throw this one in the same spot, just a little bit off the plate.
You know, up there in the terrace level, Tommy, we call that Simpsonville.
Yep.
That spot in the strike zone is Glavinville.
Yes. Simpsonville up there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And look at where Tyrell put that pitch. I mean, pitches 1, 2, and 3 almost stacked right on top of each other in that down and away corner.
Well,
Yeah.
And Mercer knows that he better cover it.
Now either start a slider right there that finishes off the plate or bust him in one time to get him off that pitch.
Driven to right. Markakis is there, and the inning's over. Jenkins gives up a double and a walk, but the Pirates can't add to their run total. Bottom of the 4th, tied up 1-1. The Braves and Chick-fil-A are offering 2 free tickets to any remaining home game for all members of the Braves Kids Club. Visit Braves.com/kids today and take advantage of this great deal. A lot of kids stay through the hour-and-a-half or so rain delay before first pitch tonight, and they've been treated to a well-pitched game. Tyrell Jenkins and Ryan Vogelsong are tied at 1 apiece after 3.5 innings. The Braves are up with Markakis, Garcia, and Ender Inciarte. After our game tonight, we'll jump on our Delta charter and head to St. Louis and open up a series with the Cardinals tomorrow. And our old pal Mac Honey is back from the disabled list. Looking forward to seeing Mac on the charter in a little while tonight.
Cardinals played a day game today. They're already home.
1 ball, 1 strike.
What happened to Mac? He burned his hands or something, making you guys pies or something?
Something like that.
Something like that.
He burned the water. Vogelsong. Another tough pitch for Markakis, who struck out looking in the second. First start back for Vogelsong since May 24th. He's allowed a run on 3 hits. All of that action came in the last inning.
There's that logo.
And Markakis is down on strikes for a second time.
That is so unusual for Nick to get called out on strikes twice, and for him to know it. Basically, no complaints and know it. And that's similar pitch.
So the third strikeout for Vogelsong. Here's Garcia, and Adonis takes a strike. Down the left field line, that'll bounce into the crowd, and it's 0-2. Joe's right about the Cardinals. The Reds, though, beat them 7-0 today in Cincinnati. Phillies fell to the Giants 3-2 in 10. Mets are leading the Yankees 4-1. Jay Bruce has hit a home run, his first as a Met.
What'd you guys think of that trade?
Who'd the Mets give up for him?
Dilson Herrera,
second baseman that the Reds sent to AAA, but a real good-looking player and a pitcher, I believe.
Well, the Mets needed a bat, no question about that.
And they had to put Cespedes on the DL finally. He's been bothered with a quad problem. And as you can imagine, the New York media is a little bit outraged that he's hurt, because Cespedes has been seen playing golf with Kevin Millar while that quadriceps was bothering him.
It's interesting. Wasn't playing with Yasiel Puig, was he? Is he in the group?
Unless they were playing in Oklahoma City, I'm not sure. I think the answer to that is no. Ripped foul. That'll skip into the seats for a strike for Ender, whose hitting streak stands at 15 games. He had an infield hit and scored the Braves' only run. Check swing, and Vogelsong will field, glove flip, and then he tumbles to the ground. Not the stop, drop, and roll play, but a fine play by Ryan Vogelsong to get a fast base runner. The scoop, the slip, the flip, and the out. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the 5th. 8, 9, and 1 coming up for the battling Buccos in the 5th inning. Fryer, Vogelsong, and Frazier. See if Terrell can have another clean inning. He had a 1-2-3 first. He pitched out of 4th inning trouble. Got a double play to erase a threat in the 2nd. Gave up a run in the 3rd tonight. Chop toward 3rd. Adonis got the convenient hop and his long throws in time. And that retires Fryer.
One of the things about Adonis's defense that we sometimes overlook, don't give him enough credit for it, is that he's got a good arm.
Real good arm.
That one right on the money. And Vogelsong's the batter. He laid down a sacrifice.
See that little notch kind of sticking up a little bit on his ear flap. It's a little different than most. Just got a little extra up there, up around the cheekbone.
Well, they need Vogelsong to come back and pitch good ball for them, especially after the disastrous outing by Jeff Locke last night. As we mentioned in game 2, the Pirates traded away Francisco Liriano. They've got Garrett Cole at the top of the order. Jameson Taillon's coming back. Tyler Glasnow is hopeful of coming back from some arm issues in the next couple of weeks. And the Pirates starting play tonight are only 3 games out in the wild card, for the 2nd wild card, that is. But their schedule in the last week and a half, 2 weeks is really tough. So they've got to put the pedal to the metal and start taking care of teams like the Braves.
And yet Gregory Polanco's not playing tonight. That's puzzling. No reason given, no injury. Andrew McCutchen out of there. You need all your weapons.
Well, I guess in fairness, though, the 3 guys they got playing the outfield are still pretty good tonight. But that's one of the I guess that's one of the things they can do. But you're right. Those are your horses.
Yeah.
You got to start riding them.
Well, I know they wanted to get Harrison back in the lineup tonight, but if so, at the expense of Frazier, I understand, but not at the expense of Polanco. Puzzling when they're that close.
After this game, the Pirates head home for 6 games. They've got the Reds this weekend, an off day Monday, and then the Padres come in. Then the schedule gets a lot tougher for them. Dodgers, Giants, Marlins, Astros are their next 4 series, with Milwaukee and then the Cubs at the end of the month. Frazier drives one toward left. Kemp moves toward the line, and Matt is there, makes the play, and it's 3 up, 3 down.
About the game of baseball from a youth standpoint, I think more than ever we have been given the opportunity to play this game at a greater level, and we're trying to develop athletes at the age of 8, 9, 10, 11 choosing a sport that they have no business choosing that young.
Can't wait to hear more of John Smoltz's thoughts, Joe's and Tom's as well, as we continue our discussion about the youth baseball debate. It continues tomorrow in Braves Live with a real-time discussion involving Smoltz, Paul Byrd, and others. Hear what they have to say about travel baseball and the issue of over-specialization. It's part 2 of Driven, the youth baseball debate, tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern during Braves Live pregame, only on Fox Sports South and streaming on Fox Sports Go.
Already heard from a parent, a Lassiter parent, of a boy that when the dad was watching our rain delay discussion about it, and his son being put to him that he needed to make a choice between baseball and football. He chose baseball. It didn't work out. The dad said, you know, I felt guilty about that for years afterwards. Pressured to pick one over the other. Nonsense.
A.J. Przinsky leads off for the Braves. He singled his first and only time up. I've got 2 teenage boys at home who can't figure out what their favorite music artist is from the next minute. So, okay, pick a sport that you want to play 5 or 6 years down the road. It is nonsensical.
Things change so much, you know. Who knows what you're going to develop into? Who knows what your body's going to be? What kind of body type? What kind of coordination?
To first, Freeze has it. He'll take it to the bag. 1 out.
It may turn out to be you wind up playing a sport that you're not even playing when you're 10 years old.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened in my house. I have 2 boys that loved baseball, wanted to play it, and kind of had the same, hey, pick a sport thing when they were 10, 11 years old. They didn't like it. One plays lacrosse, one plays soccer.
Yeah.
They didn't even think about those 2 sports when they were even 13 years old.
No, I mean, and you know, at 12, 13, 14.
Little fly to right by Tyrell. 2 outs.
You know, even 16 and 17, I can see it a little bit more again at 16 or 17. But I mean, at any age, really, why are we forcing kids to make a choice? Is it because that's their best professional path or their best college path? Yeah. Really? Or is it because that's what's best for the coach who's telling you to make a choice? You know, either way, it's not a good scenario.
2 outs for Peterson. And Jace takes low. 1 ball, no strikes. He's walked and grounded out.
And I'll go back to something I said a couple of nights ago, and that is, if travel baseball had been around when I played, I would have eaten it up. I would have, every weekend, where are we going? Let's go. Let's see if we can go beat somebody from North Carolina or New York or California. Let's go. Let's see how good we are. But when football and basketball season comes around, that's all put away.
1-1 pitch. So we'll look forward to that discussion tomorrow night. Joe and I will join you from St. Louis, where we open up a 3-game set with the Cardinals. Joel De La Cruz and Jaime Garcia. 8:15 first pitch Eastern time. 7:30 Eastern time with Braves Live.
Well, getting out of that bases loaded jam in the 3rd inning gave Vogelsong a second win, didn't it?
Yeah, it sure did.
Veteran pitcher regrouping.
Set down 7 straight. But he had to get a great catch by Marte to bail him out off the bat of Matt Kemp. If he doesn't catch it, 3 runs have scored, and the Braves would have a 3-run lead at the very least. But no such luck. Still a full count. Freese at first got the friendly hop. Now he's got to hustle to the bag, and he'll slide to the pillow and make the play just before Jace Peterson got there first. 3 up, 3 down, 8 in a row retired by Vogelsong. David Freese, a former third baseman, had to turn on the jets with that big hop, and he just did erase Jace. No, not Andrew Jones, but former Atlanta Mayor Andrew Young. He is honored with pulling down the number tonight. Just 24 home games left here at Turner Field. And good to see Mayor Young at the ballpark tonight. And a two-handed wave from the 84 years young Andrew Young.
Nice to see him here at the ballpark.
Now, I don't know if Mayor Young was properly instructed on how to do the two-handed wave. I know that the one-handed wave has been subject of a lot of instruction for the number revealers, but I didn't see our man down there say, hey, wave with two hands.
I was not told I could wave with two hands.
No, really?
Nope.
Okay. David Freese with a 2-0 count takes inside.
That's kind of a rain delay thing, Chip.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's two-handed wave only on rain delays. After rain delay. Down to 24. Last game ever for the Pirates at Turner Field. Do you know who has more hits as a Pirate at Turner Field than any other player? You each get one guess.
Ground ball to short. Come on, Tom. Bar kicked it.
Trying to think, because I'm thinking it's you got to go off the board a little bit, but
I can give you a hint. It's not Willie Stargell. It's not Bill Mazeroski.
that much I knew.
Not Vernon Law.
Okay.
That was going to be a tough play.
Yeah, it would have been tough. I'm drawing a blank. You got to let me think about it for a minute.
Oh,
that's an error. Wow.
Good grief. That is. Some of them have been laughable, but that's just brutal.
Yeah, that would have been a bang bang play if he did everything right.
He's running to the left field line. Come on. Okay, back to your guesses.
Oh yeah. Golly.
I'll say since
take a guess. Maybe it'll.
Since obviously the gears are frozen over here. I'll say Brian Giles.
Whoa.
Well, that's a good guess. All right. Man, oh man,
that's
totally
incorrect.
I'm totally drawing a blank.
Can I do a Rodney Dangerfield here? While we're young.
Listen, it's been a long. I've had to talk a lot today. I've had a lot of things I've had to do.
That's a good point. I take it back. I forgot.
I'm trying to think. Mid 90s, late 90s, 2000s. How about? I don't. No, I'm not looking at my phone.
Who did you
give me another minute?
Which Pirate hit you the hardest?
Well, I mean,
boy, that's kind of hard to narrow that down.
Yeah, I was going to say who did it. Well, you know, I don't want to get confused between the guys I faced across the street and the guys that I faced over here.
That's a good point.
So, you know, the natural one you go to is Bonds, but I don't think he played here enough as a Pirate anyway.
Good point. Good deduction.
You know, I don't think McCutcheon's played here long enough either.
He has the most homers and RBIs.
Wow. Okay.
But not the most hits.
Not the most hits. I'm trying to think. Early 2000s, who was on those teams, and I obviously, like I said, I'm drawing a complete blank, but
I wish I could do that Final Jeopardy music.
I know. I don't know. Let's move on.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
It's a catcher.
Jason Kendall.
Jason
Kendall. I'll be darned.
31 hits.
And he got a lot of extra chances, I'll bet, because he used to lead off for the Pirates. Wow, that's a great question. As Tyrell Jenkins has some trouble now. A tough error, but then a walk to Joyce sets it up for Marte. 1-1, each team with 3 hits. Each team's left 3 on base. And sunk out of sight, even count. 10 o'clock in Atlanta. Jenkins moving toward 100 pitches. And he's had some high stress pitches in this game.
These young guys that are showing some flashes of real good work. When they're walking people, they're at seem like the most inopportune time. Tons of leadoff walks, and one hurt him tonight in the 3rd inning that led to a run. And then after what was ruled an error, a walk to put him at 1st and 2nd with nobody out, in the heart of the order out.
Yeah, and I think both of those are probably more psychological than anything else. You go out there and tell yourself, all right, let's get the first guy. Don't walk the first guy. Well, then you walk the leadoff guy. And then, you know, something happens. All right, let's get a ground ball. Don't walk a guy. You know, it's you're pitching defensively most of the time when that's happening.
You said last night about Whalen that a guy who pitches to contact suddenly is pitching away from contact, getting in trouble. And then he got back to that, you know, after getting beat up in the 1st inning. He's went back to his way. And in some cases, I think that really plagues Tyrell, that he pitches away from his strength, which is that sinker. There it is.
AJ liked that pitch. And Marte is a very big first out.
You know, he's been missing over toward the left-handed batter's box a lot with his 4-seamer. That's a good pitch.
That's changeup. It's a good pitch.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that if he's gonna make that next step, and I was noticing that tonight too. Now I don't know if this has just been the case for tonight or if it's been the case since he's been here, but that down and away strike to a right-hander going glove side, that's the pitch that he's got to learn how to throw more consistently. He did it that one at bat with somebody that
Mercer.
He painted that corner.
Yeah, Mercer wore him out.
But he's had more struggles over there than he has had successes. Now he throws that sinker that starts in the middle of the plate and disappears, that he gets good, swings and misses on or bad contact, and he'll throw that one that starts inner half on a righty and finishes out of the zone for a strike. But that's a tough pitch to throw, on a 3-1 count or a 3-2 count, because your margin for error is so small. That's a good pitch when you're ahead in the count and you can be aggressive with it. But if you can learn how to throw that sinker that disappears over the middle of the plate more to the outside corner, now I think he's really got something.
Ground ball toward third. Adonis to second for 1. The throw to first is just late. Got the ground ball he wanted, but softly hit. And the Pirates keep the inning alive. They're at the corners now, though, with 2 outs.
Good effort by Adonis and by Jace. Just a step behind on that because it was slowly hit.
Braves might be taking a look at that play at first base just to make sure that Gong was indeed safe. Doesn't look like there'll be a review. And now Harrison bats. He's reached twice. He's singled. He's walked. And that's lashed off the screen for a strike. Colorado's winning again tonight. They're beating the Dodgers. They thumped them 12-2 last night. Rockies are 14-5 since the break. At the moment, they are 2.5 games behind the Cardinals for the wild card.
Well, we talked about that and talked about it when Walt was here, that they needed to get on a run, and they've done it.
Kenta Maeda for the Dodgers. Tyler Chatwood for Colorado this evening.
Yeah, Anderson won last night for them. Tyler Anderson.
What's his record now?
4-3.
Yeah, I know Walt really likes him.
One pitch is high.
Miami goes in there tomorrow.
Well, that's got to be tough duty for the Marlins. You blow a game in Wrigley Field and have to sit on it for a day, knowing your pitching staff has to face that offense in that ballpark. Ooh. Don't envy Miami that. 2-1 pitch. Fouled away, 2-2.
All right, here you go, Tom Glavine. 2-2. Tough spot. What do you go to here?
Well, I mean, here, his bread and butter has been that sinker, either middle down or in and down. A 2-2 count. I think you can try and bury it in back foot because you can be aggressive. They're going to try and go away.
Got it there, and it's a line drive to right, and Markakis handles to retire the side. Tyrell Jenkins likes that. He had 2 on with nobody out, got a strikeout, a ground out, and a line out to preserve a 1-1 game with Ibar, Freeman, and Kemp coming up for Atlanta. Kelly will be at Turner Field Saturday, August 20th for a free post-game concert, all part of the Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines Summer Concert Series. Field passes are also on sale for just $20. Go to Braves.com/Torey Kelly today. Nice job by Tyrell Jenkins to pitch out of 6th inning trouble. Now his offense is back to work. Ibar, Freeman, and Kemp. Atlanta won, Pittsburgh won after 5.5 innings. It is a final at Yankee Stadium. The Mets polished off New York 4-1. Jay Bruce hit a homer in that game. But all of a sudden, Washington's open up a 7-game lead in the Eastern Division race. They've won 3 straight while Miami's lost 3 in a row. The Mets have won 4 of their last 11.
They go home. Washington goes home to play in San Francisco tomorrow.
Bouncer foul by Ibar. 2-2 for Eric, who's got an infield hit and the lone Braves RBI. Giants lead over the Dodgers is 2 games. Colorado 7 back in the National League West. Rockies, by the way, have shaved 9 games off the Giants' lead over their club. With this good run after the break. Full count. Giants have lost 13 of 17, make it 13 of 18 with their win today after the All-Star game. Vogelsong's retired 8 straight. And a ground ball. Harrison to his right. Strong throw and a stretch. Good play to retire Ibar.
Sensational play.
It's pretty impressive to throw from there and get that much on it. That's a good play.
9 up, 9 down for Vogelsong now. Here's Freddie Freeman. Freddie's 0 for 2. And he struck out with the bases loaded last time up. Only his 2nd at bat of the year with 3 runners aboard.
That reminded me of those plays Dozier made for Minnesota. 3 of them in 1 inning, I think. It seemed like it.
Right through the wickets of Eddie Perez, the Braves' first base coach. And high.
Braves have a couple of guys up in their bullpen. Brandon Caniff, who's not been in a game yet, probably if the game is still tied, and Mauricio Cabrera is loosening in case the Braves take the lead here.
And Freddie's down swinging again. Freddie now 122 strikeouts.
That's 7 strikeouts in this series in 11 at bats. That was a breaking ball. Tommy.
Looked like a backup curveball.
Backup breaking ball.
Yeah.
Huh.
5 strikeouts for Vogelsong in his return from injury. And quickly 2 outs. Here's Kemp. Marte robbed him of an extra base hit back in the 3rd. And chopped foul past Bo Porter, strike 1.
Got some old school stuff going on too with the signs between Vogelsong and Fryer. Pretty obvious that having been out as long as he hasn't worked with Fryer, so he's actually doing some brushes with his glove on his leg to add perhaps to the sign that he's given. So that rather than shake him off, if he puts down a 1, he might brush twice to get to number 3, whatever number 3 is.
5 strikeouts, matches Vogelsong's season high. That was in his start against the Tigers, and that's going to be number 6, a new season high, and he has set down 11 consecutive Braves. Vogelsong is due 3rd for the Pirates as we're off to the 7th, still tied up.
Game 1-1 as we head to the 7th inning, and for the past couple of days we've been telling you how Matt Kemp grew up a Braves fan. Well, the Pirates have 2 guys who grew up Braves fans as well, Adam Frazier and Jordy Mercer. Both of their favorite players, as you can imagine, Chipper Jones. Now, Adam is from Athens, Georgia, and this is his first and final time playing at Turner Field. And Jordy Mercer told me a story from 2011. It was Chipper Jones' final season, and he got too scared to say hello to him. Finally mustered up the courage when Chipper was stretching and Jordy was wrapping up BP, said hi, and he even got an autographed jersey from him that is still hanging in his office at home in Oklahoma. And he said what he really liked about Chipper, which I liked, is that he stayed out of the media and he was a hard worker on and off the field. You didn't hear negative things about him, and then his play backed him up as well. So that was really powerful to hear a guy say.
That's a cool story, Kelsey. Thank you. As Mercer leads off, Brandon Caniff is into the game in place of Tyrell Jenkins, who went 6 innings, 3 hits, a run, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts.
He had a pretty good streak going at Gwinnett when he left. 8 1/3 innings of scoreless innings, and had struck out 11 over those 8 1/3. Was up a lot last year and in a lot of games for the Braves. 39 games, went 2-2 with a 4.6 ERA.
Base hit to left. So Mercer's off the schneid in the series. He's 1 for 10, and another Pittsburgh leadoff man has reached. And now Fryer's up. He's walked and scored.
A good possibility of a bunt here with a pinch hitter. A possibility then for Vogelsong. And is that Polanco?
It is. Pirates have another catcher you might remember, Chris Stewart. He's had some left knee problems. He's getting ready to catch some simulated games for Pittsburgh. And the man he'll be catching in all likelihood will be Tyler Glasnow, who's had those arm problems. When he's ready, both of those they're ready, I should say. Both Glasnow and Stewart will probably come back to the Pirates. 1 ball, no strikes for Fryer.
Well, with Vogelsong back, if they can get Glasnow healthy, have Glasnow, Taillon, and Garrett Cole as the nucleus of their long-range plans for starters. They got Ivan Nova from the Yankees. Be a pretty solid fivesome. Ooh, that was close.
The pitch a strike. The throw to second. In time. Mercer's caught stealing. There's a huge break.
Great play down at second base by Jace Peterson. This was a hit and run play, so he got a slower start than he would have liked. Jace handled in between hop and then chased him as he was trying to go around him. No chance at all there on the hit and run for Fryer to try to hit a pitch. Was about to hit him in the knee. Nice play by Peterson.
So Kniff, as the base is empty, Fryer's up there with a 2-1 count now. And double-barreled action begins in the Braves pen with John Jaso now in the on-deck circle. Hunter Cervenka is the left-hander. Ramirez the righty. 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. Braves have walked 5 hitters in the game. First by Kniff. And now it's Jaso's turn to hit. And Brian Snitker is on his way out. Hunter Cervenka, in all likelihood, will be the man called upon to retire John Jaso. So a hit and a walk, a caught stealing for Brandon Kniff. He does get credit for 1/3 of an inning's worth of work. In the 7th inning, time for tonight's
State Farm double play replay.
Couple of them for the Braves behind Tyrell Jenkins. That was a beauty on a hot shot to Ibar to get that one started. And this one going the other way. Peterson to Ibar to Freeman. Got Tyrell out of some jams in the second and third inning.
And you know what? One of the points we talked about earlier tonight was Tyrell Jenkins and his work on his home mound. That continued tonight. 6 good innings of work. And now the Braves bullpen will see Hunter Cervenka come on. And the Braves bullpen this month has been excellent so far. 7 2/3 scoreless innings. They've allowed a total of 2 hits. The walk allowed by Brandon Kniff, the first walk issued by the relief staff in August.
This is something I was just looking up Jaso's numbers against left-handed pitchers. I didn't realize he never got to face them. I just figured he was in there virtually every day, but he's only 1 for 15 against left-handed pitchers this year.
I guess Freese and Rodriguez split time with him at first base. But again, Clint Hurdle's playing with a short bench, at least in the case of Andrew McCutchen. He says he's not going to play him, but you have to pretend like he's available.
Yeah, I have to think that. You have to manage that like that if you're Brian Snitker.
Ground ball to first. Freeman's got it. His long throw to second is in time, and the throw to first is a double play, or was it a foul ball? What's the call? It's a double play. Jaso didn't run, broke his back. Thank you very much. The Braves turn their 3rd double play in the game, and all Clint Hurdle can do is shake his head. 7th inning stretch. Let's see if the Braves can take the lead.
The 7th inning, but it was a weird one. John Jaso, watch this, he breaks his bat and the barrel flips around him, and he looks back like make sure that it didn't hit A.J. Brzezinski. But why he didn't run, I don't know, and neither does his manager, who went down to ask him about it later. Made it kind of easy just to double up the phantom runner.
Well, I guess if you watch long enough, you'll see everything eventually.
Well, Hurdle went down to ask him about it. When Hurdle walked away, Jaso just left shaking his head.
So Vogelsong's out of the game after 6 strong innings. Felipe Rivero is in his 50th game now.
He came from the Nationals. Tough lefty.
Markakis and Inciarte, the lefties, coming up in the inning. Adonis Garcia sandwiched in between. 2 straight scoreless appearances for Rivero since coming to the Pirates. Taylor Hearn was a left-handed pitcher that came over as well in the deal that sent Mark Melanson to Washington. And the happiest man to see Vogelsong out of the game might be the man in the batter's box, Nick Markakis. Vogelsong pitched him really tough. 87 miles an hour and fouled away.
I don't think Rivero's a triple-digit guy, but he's close enough.
In the air to left. Joyce comes on. He's got it. And 12 straight Atlanta hitters have been set down by the Pirates.
Here's the guy. Adonis will get on this lefty, especially if he throws him that slider down and in and makes a mistake with it.
Ball one. Garcia has seen Rivero before. He's 0 for 2 against him.
Two pretty good fastballs, two pretty good pitches. Last one was a fastball, first one was not.
Three and one.
Intermediate science attendance 20,527 20527.
20,527 the announced attendance. Braves trying to win the series against the Pirates tonight. 3-1. He is off the plate. There's the go-ahead run. Garcia's aboard. And that is the first Atlanta base runner since they had him loaded back in the third.
He had him 0-2 and walked him faster than anybody I've ever seen.
Inciarte is 2 for 3 against Rivero. Ender was the lone Brave to score. Infield hit for him in that third inning, extending his batting streak to 15 consecutive games with a hit. And hitting .262 for the year. Brian Snitker and Terry Pendleton discussing strategy. Garcia a short lead at first. Ender drives that one down the left field line. That's in for a hit. Joyce got to it quickly and stopped Garcia at second. That was a good play. And Ender Inciarte continues his good work against Rivero. 2-hit night for Ender, and the Braves are in business.
Fastball up and away, served it that way, and you're right, Chip, that was an excellent play by Joyce. Looked like the Braves are going to have a good chance with that slicing away from him to have first and third. Didn't happen.
Another lefty-lefty matchup, this time with A.J. Pierzynski. A.J. has a third inning hit. And that's low. Barring a double play, Jeff Francoeur will pinch hit. He's getting ready in the on-deck circle.
No one loosening in the Pirates bullpen.
Garcia takes off for third. The throw dropped at third by Gong. And he's going to come home and score. Unbelievable play.
You know what? Live, I thought he balked. I'm glad they didn't call it.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm surprised he didn't balk.
He stepped off. No balk. What a play.
So Atlanta leads on the daring base running of Adonis Garcia, who just took off and then scored when Gong couldn't hang on at third base. That's as creative way to score from second base as you'll ever see.
Yeah, it's different.
It's ruled a caught stealing in E5, and then Garcia came home on the drop. And now a liner to the third baseman Gong. And no chance for Harrison to get to the bag and try to double off Inciarte.
Wait a minute.
I'm just telling you what they put on the board.
I know. And I know there are some creative liberties there for official scores, but they didn't get him. How's it a caught stealing if he's not out? Chip, I'm going to hit you in the head.
Let me get out of the way first.
Wait a minute. God. I'm just the guy that tells you what the scores say.
I know. Good grief.
Francoeur with 2 outs. The official score tonight is Richard Musterer.
I'm keeping my own score.
One ball, no strikes. The only explanation, I'm guessing that they would say it's a caught stealing, is that they ruled the error on Gong, that he would have been out had he not made the error. You're right, he didn't get him.
That's like saying when you steal second base and the catcher throws it into center field and you go to third, it's like, well, yeah, but if he had made a good throw, he'd have been out. That would have been a caught stealing.
Right.
So
I guess the only difference is, I guess if you would compare it to, say, a left-handed pitcher on the mound and you pick the guy off at first, but he takes off and then there's a throw to second that the second baseman drops, and now he's safe. He's technically caught stealing, but there's an error on the play that made him safe, I guess. That's the only example I can think of. But
okay.
But I'm not sold that even if Gong catches the ball cleanly, he's out.
I'm not either, but
some funny stuff can happen at Turner Field when the Pirates come to town, huh?
Yes. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Jeff Francoeur. And Jeff's hanging tough. So a walk, a single. A daring attempt to steal third by Garcia that turned into an error, and the go-ahead run. Boy, it'd be nice to bring home Ender here with 2 outs. Line drive center field, base hit. Here he comes. Frenchie comes through with a big 2-out hit.
Fifth pinch hit. Second RBI. Look at him get his hands inside that pitch. Fastball in. Oh man, is that a good piece of hitting there? Getting the barrel to that one. Beautiful. Big run too.
And now Ray Searage is on his way out to talk to Rivero. A scoreless run for Pittsburgh comes to an end here in the 7th inning. A 2-run 7th for the Braves. They have 3 runs on 5 hits. Jace Peterson's the hitter. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. That play by Garcia. You saw the old movie reels of the Gas House Gang in the 1930s for the Cardinals. That's the kind of stuff they did all the time.
We'll start calling him Agonis. Turn your back on him.
Years ago, that was a play that Anderson Simmons turned on the Diamondbacks out in Phoenix, I believe it was, against Jose Valverde. He was adjusting his shoes.
That was Escobar.
Yeah. Did I say Anderson? Excuse me, Escobar. You know Escobar.
Escobar, yeah.
Out at Chase Field in Phoenix. And now Francoeur takes off, and a high hopper hit toward Mercer at second, and he's got to make the throw to first in time. Boy, Rivero didn't hold runners very well in that inning, and it cost him a couple of runs. Atlanta takes a 3-1 lead courtesy of Garcia and Francoeur. Inning, thanks to the flying feet of Adonis Garcia. He earns our Toyota Key Play of the Game honors.
Just broke early. Runners at first and second. Rivero stepped off. I don't think Jung Ho Kang wanted any part of what was about to happen there. Third baseman was trying to move to the bag, take the throw, and watch the runner. And the third baseman charged with the error, and the Braves took the lead. That was daring.
So Chris Withrow is on to pitch the 8th inning. The man to win the game is Hunter Cervenka, who got the double play ball off the bat of John Jaso. Chris has the 1, 2, 3 hitters coming up for the Pirates. And Joe, you mentioned last night or the night before, Chris is pitching in more and more important innings of late for the Braves.
Yeah, he's been an excellent setup guy. He's been the 8th inning guy. Cabrera's moved in into the 7th inning. So Cabrera, Withrow, and then Johnson have been a good combination. Okay, I've got a ruling for you.
Okay.
Argyle looked it up. On the play at third. When in the scorer's judgment, a runner attempting to steal is safe because of a muffed throw, the official scorer shall not credit a stolen base. The official scorer shall credit an assist to the fielder who made the throw, charge an error to the fielder who muffed the throw, and charge the runner with a caught stealing. It's in the rule book. I defer.
You still don't have to like it.
I don't.
So Richard Musterer got it right.
It's like assuming a double play. You just assume he's going to be out.
That missed inside. Adam Frazier, who has the Pirates RBI. It came against Terrell Jenkins in the 3rd inning on an 0-2 pitch. He singled. He's 3 for 12 in his homecoming to Turner Field. Heard Kelsey mention Frazier's a Georgia boy. Watched the Braves a lot. From his home up near Athens. And he leads off the 8th. 2 balls and a strike. And now 2-2.
An important item on that play, as mentioned to me by the truck and our producer Gretchen Caney, is the fact that Gong, remember, suffered a horrible knee injury last year, late in the year, on a collision with Chris Coughlin. So that might have been entering his mind a little bit there too.
The 2-2 pitch to Frazier is bounced toward short. Ibar's got it, loads up, strong throw, and got his man by a step. One away. We're off to St. Louis after this one tonight. De La Cruz and Garcia tomorrow night. The Braves have to figure out who's starting Saturday with the trades. Matt Whistler in the minor leagues and all the injuries this rotation has suffered. Tough assignment for whoever draws the ball on Saturday. Carlos Martinez, a 10-game winner for the Redbirds. And the marquee matchup might be Sunday afternoon. Mike Fultonevich and Adam Wainwright.
You got any picks for Saturday? Got any choices? You like a draft pick?
I wouldn't mind seeing Tom pitch again.
I'll tell you what, come to the house and you might see me pitching wiffle ball. That'll be about the extent of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's so many guys on the DL. Gant's not ready. Casey Kelly is on the DL. Aaron Blair went to the DL today. I don't think Matt Whistler can come back and pitch yet. I don't know when his 10 days are up. But let's say Whistler can't come back by rule. I mean, you want to see Touki Toussaint Saturday?
Why not?
Where's he pitching?
Rome.
Got to be somebody at Double-A.
Might be the left-hander, Newcomb.
Newcomb's pitching tonight. Lucas Sims just pitched yesterday. 4 1/3 innings, 6 walks, 5 strikeouts, 1 unearned run.
Okay, well, that's too soon for them to come back, both of them.
Aaron Blair is the man that got hurt. I imagine it would have been Blair. Casey Kelly also hurt.
Yeah.
Blair's the strikeout leader at AAA. Kelly the starters ERA leader at AAA Gwinnett. Two balls, 2 strikes. I mean, you can always do, let's say De La Cruz goes out and pitches 7 innings in St. Louis tomorrow.
Could do a bullpen game. But you don't envy John Coppolella or the Braves staff with their options at the moment. Fly ball by Freese, deep right field, and that one is going to go a long way. That is a big-time homer. Number 11 for Freese, and we've got a one-run game.
Tell you what, that's in Pittsburgh. That's either at the top of those right field bleachers or maybe over them. Chris Withrow wasn't going to walk him. What a nice swing.
So the Braves have a little more work to do. They lead by 1 now. And Matt Joyce, the hitter. Joyce is 0 for 2 with a walk.
You know, that bullpen game thing, if you've got a staff of guys that are going 6 and 7 innings every time out, that's okay. You can take a chance, but that's not been the case.
Yeah, then you really got to rely on the guy on Sunday to give you some innings.
To center. Inciarte makes the catch. 2 outs. So we won't know until after tonight's game at the very earliest what the Braves' plans are. And as soon as we know, we'll let you know. But somebody's going to pitch.
That much I know.
Jeff Francoeur might volunteer.
He might.
If it comes to that. And who knows, maybe Kelsey Wingert will find out the answer for us in her post-game interview with Brian Snitker on Braves Live, presented by Xfinity.
And the answer on Whistler is that it's way too soon. Got to stay down in the minor leagues for 10 days unless there's an injury.
One ball, no strikes for Starling Marte. AJ trying to frame that one over the corner, didn't get it. Andrew McCutchen has been a spectator by design this entire series. The Pirates need Andrew McCutchen to get hot over the final 2 months. They'll have a chance in their next series with the Reds. The 2-2 pitch from Marte. I think the biggest grasshopper I've ever seen in my life has just flown into our booth.
You could catch a marlin with that.
That thing needs to have a leash on it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Driven toward right, playable for Markakis. And that's the inning. A home run by Freese makes it a 1-run game. 3-2 your score.
Let's take a look at the Home Depot tools from the dugout. There's been a lot of discussion, fellas, about Aaron Sanchez for the Blue Jays and trying to protect his innings pitched and not overdoing it. They were going to put him in the bullpen. Now they're talking about going to a 6-man rotation. Well, here's the big three. In their first full innings in the big leagues, first full seasons in the big leagues, Tommy with 195 plus, Smoltz 208, Maddox 155. Maddox followed that up his second full season with 249, 231 for John, 186 for Tommy. And I don't know why all of a sudden young guys can't continue to pitch for fear of getting hurt. I know it's a commodity, but I think that's an example right there of maybe a little still too much pampering going on.
I would agree, and I think it's no fault of their own. It's what they're brought up with. You know, in the minor leagues, initially their innings are monitored, their pitches per game are monitored, all that stuff, so that then when you get here to the big leagues, there's, you know, the progression is really the ceiling on your progression is not all that high, you know, because they're so fearful of you extending yourself. I mean, nobody in their right mind in today's game is ever going to let a guy go out and pitch 100 innings more like Maddox did in their second year. They're not going to do it.
And yet he survived. He wasn't
Absolutely.
a big guy. He wasn't a big, strong guy. He was slightly built.
Well, that's my question.
And no insult to you, slightly built. You know, a slender guy.
Look, I agree. And you know, you know, because today's guy is big, throws hard, max effort kind of guys. I mean, I think that's part of it. But you know, I don't know. I mean, there's so much that I don't like about it.
Bouncing ball to the left side. Gong can't get there. Bounced right over his glove. And an excellent start for the Braves in the 8th, looking for some insurance. It's another error on the Pirates' third baseman. Well, that's the point we were talking about when Mike Foltynewicz pitched in this series, Tommy. I think you were talking about guys coming in and throwing maximum effort, 98 miles an hour every pitch with 0 command. Backing off and throwing 94 with command and then having 97 or 98 at their reserve. I would agree with you if you come in and thrown 150 innings one year and threw 250 the next, and every pitch was as hard as you could throw. Well, no way you're winning 300 games.
No, you're not going to last.
And Sanchez just turned 24 as an example. He's the reason I brought this up tonight. You, John, and Greg were all 22 years old in your first full years. So full 2 years younger than this guy. I had Argyle look up.
Pitch a strike, throw to second high.
Another good jump. On base number 3 for Eric. We went back a little farther. Okay, another generation. Let's say Clemens. First full year he was 24. Through 254 innings. The next year 281. Go back another generation. Tom Seaver was 23 his first full year. He threw 251 innings. The next year 277. I know he's been a big voice in not pitching enough, that guys are just being too pampered. Tom Seaver.
No balls and a strike for Freddie Freeman. And correct me if I'm wrong, Tom Seaver pitched in an era where it wasn't a 5-man starting staff. He was pitching in a 4-man staff, so pitching a lot more outings, a lot more innings.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I mean, I think guys are way too pampered. I think obviously that's, you know, there's so much invested in these guys, and it's much more explainable if they get hurt, if you've pampered them and you've limited their innings, than it is to if you just let them go out there and go. But you know, I think you're creating a generation of pitchers that aren't going to pitch 200 innings anymore, don't know how to flip a lineup for the 3rd time in a game. I mean, you know, all those things that, you know, pretty important. And I just maintain that You teach these guys to throw at 95% effort level to where they're throwing, 94, 95 with and being able to hit their spots. And like you said, Chip, okay, here's 98 once in a while. Guys don't do that anymore. I mean, I remember watching games as a kid, and even Johnny Sane when I was around him early in my minor league career. You'd hear announcers on the Saturday afternoon games talk about a pitcher who let one go and say, "Oh yeah, put a little extra on that one." There was another gear. Nobody in today's game really has another gear because they pitch at that gear every pitch.
Right.
And I think to me the dangerous part is they also have to do that with their off-speed pitches. They have the max effort to make the ball do what they want it to do. And that to me is where you run into problems.
Well, what bothers me about it is we're applying one rule to a whole industry.
Right.
You aren't Nolan Ryan. John Smoltz isn't Mike Foltynewicz. I mean, everybody's physiology is different. Everybody's repertoire is different. Everybody reacts differently to not only the release of the pitch, but coming back from the start. And so I don't understand why the thought process to make a pitcher's arm stronger, we don't use his arm. No, you don't get bigger biceps by not lifting weights.
We're going to make these guys stronger by limiting how much they pitch.
But I think that's a misleading term. With all due respect, broken bat, ground ball to second, runner to third, one out. I would buy in if they're saying we're limiting how much they throw.
Right.
And by throw, I mean max effort.
No, actually, look,
I know what you meant. I'm
right. It's look, it's like we're talking about earlier today, where when Leo and Bobby took over here, and Leo's first thing was, all right, we're going to start throwing twice in between starts. I thought he was nuts. So what are you talking about? In the long run, it made me stronger. It made me feel better physically, and it taught me how to repeat my mechanics, and it taught me how to get feel on my pitches. I don't think there are many guys in today's game, particularly with their breaking ball, that have feel. It's like we were talking about, we were talking earlier with Don Sutton, talking about somebody's breaking ball and spin rate and whatever, and the thought process of throw it slower and spin it faster to make it curve, to make it move more. I guarantee you, if you said that to most of the guys in the big leagues today, they'd look at you like you had three heads. What do you mean throw it slower?
They wouldn't believe you.
So it's just a different mentality across the board. But I mean, look, to me, it's the danger is in the effort. And, like I said, if you're a runner, how do you train? You run.
Right. Well, let's go back to Nolan Ryan. There's an article that John Shea wrote for the San Francisco newspapers in 2013. So I'm quoting this story that he wrote. In 1989, at the ripe old age of 42, you know what Nolan Ryan's average pitch count for a game was?
Probably 115.
127 was the average. The most pitches Nolan Ryan threw in a game in 1989 was 164, which came 5 days after he had a 150 pitch game. Now, there's Nolan Ryan, and there are mere mortals. I understand that. But the man was 42 years old and
strong as a horse.
Was able to do that.
No, and I think, the one thing that I guess the one thing that I used to see when I was in New York with Peterson, with Rick Peterson, was, he was big on if you had a game where you extended yourself a little bit more than the norm, then it was always the next game you had to be careful with. And I get that. You go out there and go 130 pitches in a game instead of a usual 110. Well, the next one, yeah, you probably got to be careful a little bit. But this notion that we're just going to keep everybody healthy by limiting their innings, I don't buy that. I think there are cases where, yeah, sure there's a guy where maybe he's dinged up a little bit, or I mean, that was the case with me in 1989. I think was the second year you guys showed there, where my innings were a little bit lower than the year before. They shut me down in September.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you why you had fewer starts that year.
I had a good year that year. Like I won 14 games, and I had a slight tinge of something in my forearm, and you know, it was just all right. You know what, you're done. And I wanted to keep pitching, but they said no, you're done, and they shut me down for the better part of September. But you know, something like that where you got a young kid and you're not in a pennant race and the games don't really matter, then yeah, I get that. But just to do it like that somehow is going to magically keep everybody healthy, I just don't buy it.
Line drive into left field. That's going to be caught. Tagging is Ibar. He's coming home. The throw to the plate is cut off. And the Braves do get an insurance run on Nick Markakis' sac fly to left. And the Braves cash in the error at third base and regain a 2-run lead.
Pitched around Kemp to get to Markakis, who had not had a real good night. But you put a runner in scoring position for Nick, and he'll make it pay off. His 56th RBI.
Well, to the point you guys were making about pitching more often, again, another article from Bill Madden in the New York Daily News a couple of years ago. Nolan Ryan was quoted. One reason why we're seeing the epidemic of Tommy John surgeries and the babying, if you want to use that term, of modern day pitchers. Nolan Ryan said back then, back in his day, they didn't have MRIs, and now that they do, given the success rate of the Tommy John surgery, they say, well, we might as well go ahead and do it, even if it's a partial tear. Seemingly makes sense.
Well, every case is different, like Tom said, and every team is different in the way they are approaching this. But we've already seen it with Strasburg a couple of years ago in a situation where the Washington Nationals had an outstanding chance to perhaps advance deep into the postseason, and they shut him down after his Tommy John surgery the year following. You know what? As critical as I was then of the Nationals, given their opportunity, I understood that the concerns about the first year back from Tommy John. I don't understand it on guys who are not coming back from stuff like that. I don't understand what they're trying to prevent when there's nothing to prevent.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel good and everything's good, then go.
Well, and that's this article that I was talking about. Even Tommy John believes that pitchers today aren't being used properly. And going back to our Driven series, he believes that a culprit, one of the culprits, is the overuse of young arms in high school, college, travel ball, little league, whatever you want to, whatever youngster league that's out there.
It's, to me, that whole situation is twofold. Number one, yes, overuse. These kids are pitching way too much. You know, like the thing we didn't talk about with travel ball. You know, my biggest problem with it is, most of the time, to win a tournament, you got to win 5 games in the last 2 days of a tournament. Well, I've been saying it for years. There are teams in the big leagues that don't have enough pitching to do that. And the other thing is, these kids younger now are not being trained to pitch. They're being trained to throw hard. That's all it is. How hard can you throw? Because that's that's going to get you drafted.
We just heard from an organization recently that their whole minor league system, it's not about teaching them to pitch, it's teaching them to throw hard.
Yeah. Well, and again, you pick the activity. You go out there and do it for max effort, time after time after time. I'm pretty sure that eventually, whatever it is you're doing, something's going to blow out.
Well, one more note, and it's a quote that Tommy John mentioned that I know Tom will relate to, is this one's crushed toward left, and it's up against the fence. Adonis Garcia is having a big night with his legs and with the bat. He brings home Matt Kemp. The Braves have scored 2 runs in the 7th, 2 more in the 8th, and now lead 5-2. He is on fire, Mr. Garcia.
Stardo has come in and been hit hard, although the whole inning started with the error.
And Clint Hurdle's on his way out. Tommy John, before he had the surgery, had between 30 and 40 cortisone shots in his elbow before the ligament finally went bad. And this is a direct quote from Tommy John.
Quote, years ago, I'd have gone along with the thinking that there's only so many bullets in your arm. But we're dumbing down our thinking today to believing that pitch count and innings limitations are the way to go to preserve arms. Starting in 1975 with the White Sox, when Johnny Sain was my pitching coach, I would throw 6 days a week out of 7, and it was the best my arm ever felt. For the next 13 years, I never missed a start except once when I had the flu. Sain believed in throwing between starts, and it's no coincidence that Leo Mazzoni felt the same way.
Again, I had the same thing. My first year of pro ball, so I was in Bradenton, rookie ball. And, you know, coming out of high school, you pitched and you played another position, and then you pitched 5-6 days later. You never threw in between starts. You never did any of that conditioning stuff, and I wasn't conditioned to pitch every 5th day and pitch with some volume. So shortly after I got down there, my arm hurt, and I remember going to Pedro Gonzalez, who was the manager, and I said, hey, you know, something's wrong with my arm, it hurts, whatever. And he said, you know, okay, sit tight, let me call the Braves and we'll see what we're going to do. Well, you know, the next day Pedro tells me, okay, we're going to sit tight, Johnny Sain's going to come down here, he's going to work with you. Okay, I didn't know who Johnny Sain was, but now I meet Johnny Sain, and the first thing out of his mouth is, your arm hurts? Yep. Okay, he says, we're going to throw every day for the next 10 days, and then we're going to see where you are. And I thought, what?
That doesn't make any sense.
My arm hurts. We're going to throw every day? Sure enough, 10 days later, I was back on the mound. I didn't have another problem the rest of the year.
Now, by throwing, explain to the casual fan, by throwing, what do you mean?
Playing catch. You're doing some kind of activity, throwing the ball every day. You're not getting on the mound and airing it out. You're not going down the left field line or the right field line on flat ground and airing it out. You're playing controlled catch. You're increasing your volume of controlled catch every day, your distance, all that stuff. And eventually 10 days later, it was like, okay. And I was as skeptical as anybody. But after 10 days, it was okay. I got back on the mound, threw a couple innings, and then I was off and running and didn't have any more problems. And, you know, even with that, I still didn't buy into it, so to speak, because I had nobody to buy into it with the rest of my minor league system. But again, when Leo got here and his whole Johnny Sain influence, boom, let's get on the mound more often.
We have a scout watching the game at home who texted me and said, check and see how many games Randy Johnson had where he threw 150 or more pitches. 9 with 150 or more. He was a max effort guy.
Yeah. Well, he was initially, but I think later in his career, even though he still threw hard, I think he learned how to harness it a little bit and throw more strikes.
That's true.
I think what's interesting too is I think we'd all agree that today's player is better fed, better conditioned, better maintained medically than their predecessors, even in your era, and certainly in the days of Gibson and Koufax and Drysdale and Tom Seaver. So why are they breaking down more? I mean, it seems like every single thing that they could have at their advantage and disposal to keep them healthy, and that isn't enough.
No, you're right. They have it. I mean, look, it's amazing, like you say, how much more we know and how much better we're able to take care of ourselves, yet the injury rates are going up.
A roller to the right side. Freeze will feed the pitcher covering, and that will retire the side. Nice inning for Atlanta. Great discussion, Joe and Tom. We head to the ninth. 5-2, Atlanta leads the Pirates.
Kelly will be here at the ballpark Saturday, August 20th for a free post-game concert, all part of our Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines Summer Concert Series. Field passes are on sale for $20. Get them at Braves.com/Tori Kelly today. 5-2 Atlanta. We are through 8 innings. Braves trying to take 2 out of 3 from the Pirates before we head out on a 3-city road trip. It's our T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball. Joe, this is not going to be an easy trip because the Cardinals, Brewers, and Nationals are all playing real well.
As you look at that, though, this is what's really weird. Look at St. Louis's home record. They're 5 games under 500 at Busch Stadium. That is unbelievable. And Milwaukee, while they've won 7 of their last 10, Milwaukee is 5 games over 500 at home. They're 30-25 at Miller Park, so that will be tough.
Jim Johnson's on for Atlanta. He's got a 3-run lead, a chance for Jim to pick up a save. And he's got Jung Ho Gong, who's committed 2 errors for the Pirates, and they were both costly. And that's up and in, even count. Reds beat the Cardinals 7-0. Giants beat the Phillies 3-2. Dodgers 4-2 over Colorado. They've come back at Coors. As Gong pops one up. Peterson drifts out, took a peek at Freddie Freeman, and Freeman can't make the play. It's the old "you take it, I don't want it" play. That one had to be made. It wasn't. Peterson and Freeman got their signals crossed, and the Pirates get a huge break to start the 9th.
Jace wasn't even in the neighborhood, and then it's like, uh-oh. Be an E3.
So that opens the door for Pittsburgh. Josh Harrison's the hitter. He's 1 for 2, a single and a walk tonight. Right there for a strike. At the conclusion of this game, we will be 2/3 of the way through the regular season. And that's up and in. 2-1.
Braves are trying to win this series by hanging on here in the 9th inning. The first game of this series, Pittsburgh won the game 5-3, but Atlanta out-hit the Pirates 10-5. Pittsburgh got 4 runs in the 6th inning, another big inning, and of their 5 hits, 4 came in that inning. Otherwise, Atlanta has played them really tough for 3 days.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Harrison's out number 1.
We haven't seen the Pirates since mid-May, so I don't know what kind of problems Andrew McCutchen's been going through. They're not the same team without him. They're certainly not the same team without him, Polanco, and Cervelli in the lineup.
And as I said, if they're going to make the playoffs, they have a shorter schedule because their last week and a half is brutal. They've got some really tough clubs to try to tangle with. Washington, the Cubs, and the Cardinals are their final 10 games. Not to mention a 3-game series in Milwaukee, which is a house of horrors for them before that final homestand.
Well, if they sat McCutchen this series thinking they could afford to or take care of or take advantage of the Braves' struggles. They're going to have some questions to answer.
Agreed.
I wonder what the room thinks, to be honest with you. When your superstar player is asked to sit when you need as many wins as you can get, that is a bold organizational and managerial strategy. Will it work? Well, we won't know until the final 8 weeks.
Again, I don't know the circumstances, but you bench him, Cervelli is hurt, and you don't play Polanco. That's a head scratcher for me.
Line caught. 2 outs. Mercer hit that one right on the button, but Jace Peterson made that play. 2 outs.
You know, and you know, the other part of that too is the psychological side of it from the Braves standpoint. You know, when you don't have a guy like that in the middle of the lineup that you don't have to worry about, that's a nice thing, because I don't care what those stats up there on the board say. I know what the stats on his bubblegum card say, and you know what he's capable of doing, and you have the mindset that at any given swing, any given at bat, he might break out of it. Now, you might, during the course of a game, if you see that he's not swinging the bat well, maybe be a little bit more aggressive with him in certain situations. But you're still going to take note of him being in the middle of that lineup, and you're going to tell yourself, all right, I'm still not letting this guy beat me.
Right.
And as a fan, I'm bummed I didn't get to see Andrew McCutchen play.
Absolutely.
There might have been a lot of people bought tickets in advance looking forward to seeing him play.
But some good news here for the Pirates. Francisco Cervelli is in the batter's box for the first time since he was hit, and we have a delay after that last strikeout. Shot off some fireworks, and the smoke is bothering Jim Johnson. Bouncing ball towards short. Ibar's got it. Throw to first in time, and the Braves knock off the Pirates by a final score of 5-2. Jenkins and Vogelsong matched to zeros through 6 innings. They left tied 1-1. Braves got to the Pittsburgh bullpen in the 7th and 8th and pulled away to take 2 out of 3 here at home. 5-2 is your final score. We'll have a happy flight to St. Louis and a happy send-off to break here at Turner Field.